what would happen if the nuclear deal is not signed? Well, I'll tell you what's going to happen, man. Either way, the West, they shot themselves in the foot with, with Russia, with Ukraine, all these sanctions backfiring. If they don't sign that nuclear deal, I have no clue where they're going to get this gas from, because the idea that you can replace Russian gas with, liquefied natural gas from Qatar or from the United States. I mean, dude, Europe has literally no LNG terminals. Okay, I mean, it's not zero, but the amount of LNG terminals are simply not enough. Germany, for example, has 0. Come on, man. How on earth are you going to power Europe's economy without this? These reserves that these countries have don't last forever. Some countries have little to nothing. Let me give you an example with Austria. Austria gets 80% of its gas from Russia. I can tell you one thing. The Austrians, they did none of this bravado, huffing and puffing with the Russians. The Russians said, you buy the gas in rubles, and they said, okay. Because that's it. When your country gets 80% of the gas from Russia, that's it. There's nothing you can do. I know we talked about Poland. We studied the case of Poland, but that was different because Poland has many alternatives and so on. But again, every country is based on its geography, and its neighbors is different. There are new pipelines being built that would help Poland and so on. I did a whole video on that, but I just want to say, generally speaking, that the Europeans are really going to get screwed. It's not about just winter is coming. Yeah, people are going to freeze, but their economy also is going to suffer greatly, and that will impact the United States, and you have a domino effect. On the flip side, so what is going to happen to Iran? Well, Iran, honestly, no one is saying sanctions are nothing, or sanctions did nothing to Iran. No, they did a lot to Iran. A lot of people suffer from sanctions. Iran has exceeded and progressed in its nuclear program, in its defense, in its defense research and development. So the ballistic and missile programs, or just let's say the defense sector in general, nanotechnology. There are so many things where Iran, for example, developed its own vaccine. Cuba did also, by the way. So Iran is able to stay on its feet, but just because you can stay on your feet when you're sanctioned, it doesn't mean that sanctions are light or that they don't hurt people. I want to be very clear. This is really important. It's it's no different from bombs. It's the same destruction. You're still killing people, you're hurting people, you're making their lives difficult and making their lives hell. It's war. It's war. And I just wanted to say that for Iran, being able to not only stand on its feet and withstand the sanctions, but also support other countries, support and help Syria, support Yemen, support Lebanon, support Palestine, support Iraq. Iran, it's incredible, honestly. And that's why they're afraid of Iran, because it's not about nuclear weapons. It's about isolating it and, basically clipping its wings. And so I think Iran is going to grow with the East. You're going to have the Belt and Road Initiative. You're going to have many economic projects and relationships between these countries: China, Russia, Iran, India, Venezuela. And the West is going to decline. I mean, again, I'm not a fortune teller, but you asked me what would happen. I mean, I think that's going to happen either way. It's just that not signing the Iran deal is going to accelerate that further. You know what I mean?